I'm as free as a bird now. Just playing. Alright. If you've seen the movie, then you'll get that joke. Willy's Wonderland. This was one that was on my radar when it came out. And the pandemic went everywhere, and it just went. I'm never gonna see this thing, and it went like home release, but wasn't able to get out like video on demand, VOD. But I wasn't able to get it, and then finally it dropped on Blu-ray. So here I am, Willy's Wonderland, and I have mixed feelings on this because on one hand, the idea of crazy ass Nicolas Cage taking on crazy ass animatronic party animals, that could be fun, that could be cool. But on the other hand, what they did with that, the idea versus the execution of it. Like, for one thing, Nicolas Cage doesn't say a damn thing in this film. Not one word. You may get but you won't get a word. It kind of reminds me of like westerns, and it's kind of weird because I just finished up. My son and I watched both seasons of The Mandalorian. Season 2 review coming on May 4th. By the way, it's already recorded. It's already uploaded. You just have to wait for it to, be public. It kind of reminds me of sort of a western. This guy, he enters a place, has an established history. He kicks ass, takes names, leaves. Doesn't say much. It's kind of like a western, a modernized western, so to speak. He has no name, a la Clint Eastwood in the, Man with No Name trilogy. So yeah, he's known at one point, starting at one point in the film, he is known as the janitor for the rest of the film. Nicolas Cage plays this guy who's on the road, and he runs into some spikes. And so while he's waiting, he waits for the tow truck. They pick him up, they take him into town, and they say, hey, I can fix your car, but I need $1,000. They don't have no internet, so no credit cards, even though, do you need internet for credit cards? I don't know. Because do the 8 ATMs run on internet? They just plug it in and it works. Does it need? I don't know. I don't know how ATMs work, but nope, nothing. We don't have internet, and ATMs. If the ATMs do work on internet, what even ATM sitting there then? So he has no cash, so he has to work at night as a janitor cleaning an old place called Willy's Wonderland for one night. And then this guy texts he'll be back the next day with his car brand new and fixed, and ready to go. But there is a sort of history with this place. We find out throughout the film there's a character named Liv who's the main female protagonist. She explains that, the story. She is trying to burn this down, but the sheriff, who is actually her caretaker, stops her from doing it. The beginning of the scene of this, there's a couple with a little girl, and the little girl gets out alive, and it's obvious that it's Liv. So eventually this girl's friends get in there to try to help her, burn this place down, but then they have to get the janitor out. But the janitor doesn't want to go out. So the janitor figures out right away that something's not right. When he gets in there, he looks around, whatever. He gets a nice little Willy's t-shirt, and he gets to go into cleaning. And so this starts a pattern. Tex tells him to take breaks. So this starts a pattern. He'll clean something. Alarm will go off. He'll drink his soda. Alarm will go off again, and he'll get back to work. Animatronic will show up. He'll fight that. He'll clean. Alarm goes off. Drink. Wash. Rinse. Repeat. It gets annoying, and I guess I missed where they told him to take breaks. I kept saying, what is this leading to? Why does this watch keep going off? Why does he keep doing that? Why does he keep having to drink his grape power, whatever soda? Is it an experiment? What's going on? Apparently that's just taking breaks, okay? He kills 2 of them before the kids get in there. And these kids get in there and they try to tell him, we gotta get out of here. One of them is killed almost right away. Yeah, by the knight or whatever. And then janitor comes in, kills the knight. And then she tells the story. Used to be a place owned by a guy who was actually one of the most infamous serial killers. And apparently, he surrounded himself with more people that was like him. And they would take people back to the super fun, happy time room and kill them. And then eventually the law got involved and they committed a suicide pact. And what it ended up being is that they passed their souls. It was a ritual that they passed their souls into the animatronics. Found out from the sheriff later, I'll just cover it now, that they thought that it was over, but it wasn't. And the animatronics took life. And so they decided they had to, they were just going to let sleeping dogs lie, but they started to attack the townspeople. Even going so far as to attack the person who was going to demolish the place. So, yeah, so they started to lead families in, and that was, lead families part of it, all part of it. And, of course, the janitor says nothing. He doesn't, he knows he can take these things out. He just wants to get them out. So, people make their fates, whatever, but there's one thing that I think is a sin. Should be a sin. And it's a problem some people have, some horror fans have with Halloween 4. You hire this gorgeous, hot, big-breasted woman in your film to do a sex scene where her breasts are completely covered the entire fucking time. Now, I'll admit, with Halloween 4, you did get a little more because she takes it off, but she keeps them covered. Here, she's fucking her boyfriend with her bra on. Who the fuck does that? Even in porn, which I'm not gonna say I'm an expert at or anything, at least in porn, they still take them down with the bra still on. I'm just saying, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. No woman, and trust me, I had an ex that when we try, she would get so hot with it on, she would take it off anyway. And it's uncomfortable. So no woman is gonna fuck with their bra on or shirt or anything. It's too hot and it gets uncomfortable. So that is fucking bullshit that she's doing that. Common sense, for God's sake. Well, then the alligator, whatever it's called, that comes to life and attacks them, kills them both. One of them off screen. Yeah. And, so there's a lot of good, gory fun in this. And Nicolas Cage is really good in this. He doesn't say a goddamn word during the whole thing. But, it works. Well, one of the friends calls the sheriff. She ignores it because, of course, she's in on it. But the deputy is kind of confused because he's new in town. Call back. And that's when the friend says, hey, Liv is here. And she's like, oh, God damn it, now I gotta do something about it because I actually care for this girl. So she goes there, and they handcuff, she has the deputy handcuff Nicolas Cage, the janitor, whatever, and keep him there. Of course, that doesn't help because he still kills them. And then they take off Liv. But then, and this is another thing that frustrates me, she convinces the deputy to go back and help. As soon as he does that, boom, creature comes, kills him. She subdues this creature, finds her way back, but that's not till later. He finishes off the rest of the ones there, except for one who is somewhat still alive. And we get back to that later. He goes one-on-one with Willy, kills it, and then it comes to morning. And the two other guys come back with the car, which, watching this, I was like, you know, he's going to survive this. And then realize they ain't coming back with no car. They expect him to be dead. You know? But they do come back with the car because apparently the fat guy fixes up the cars for tax, add to his collection. Well, then here comes the janitor come out with Freebird blaring in the background, which is cool as hell. I love Freebird. And he just kind of looks at him, puts his hand out, gets the keys, and then the girl goes with him. They drive off. And, you know, hey, we're free. I'm going to reopen the place. Nope. The fairy or whatever it is, the siren, which is, she's a fairy, shows up with the guy's lighter from earlier because he couldn't light his stogie, and blows the fuck up this car. Now, it's one thing to note that they are planning on making a sequel, and if they're going to do it, the fairy or the siren flies off. She isn't exploded. She flies off from the car. Here's another thing, though, that I find weird. When they get there, they act like nothing has happened. Shouldn't the sheriff's car still be there? No. No, that's right, because they drove off. Never mind. That's right, 'cause he was going to come back and pick her up. That's right. Oh, by the way, the sheriff gets killed too. Willy breaks her in half. Overall, you know, they drive off into the sunset. They run over the turtle one last time. Overall, it was fun, but not what I was expecting from Nicolas Cage. There is one scene where he's playing the pinball machine going in Nicolas Cage fashion, but he doesn't talk. There's some screams. It's very Western. In closing, I enjoyed it, but not as much as I thought it was going to be when you think of Nicolas Cage and animatronic creatures. I mean, come on. But it is enjoyable. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's enjoyable, but if you want some good, fun, wackadoo fun, watch it. You'll be fine. But if you're expecting something fantastic, that's not what you're going to get. It's a 7 out of 10 for me. So what are your thoughts on Willy's Wonderland? Let me know in the comments below. By the way, this is also Entering the Cage, because every Nicolas Cage movie I do is going to be that. It's like Keanu is Keanuverse. So, except for Toy Story 4, because I forgot to do that. But anyway, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.